guys, welcome back to Inktober 2024, Saturday, October 12th. I'm going to just grab a page. Oh, look at this pretty pink color. Okay, let's do this color. What do I feel like doing? I don't know. I feel like doing like a neurographic design, so let's do that. I'm going to actually put a piece of paper down because I'm going to close my eyes and I'm just going to draw. And I want to make sure that there we go. Wow. That's quite the kindergarten mess, isn't it? I should have started off on the edge, so I'm going to go like that. And then I am actually going to erase near the border because I want a border. There we go. All right. That worked. All right, stick that there. Let's draw. I think I'm going to go with a brush for my border. All right. And then we're just going to follow whatever I drew there. And we're going to neurographically round the edges. That one went like that. This one goes like this. This one comes over here. This one goes this way. This one comes like that. This one went like this. This one looks like it comes over and it actually goes down like that. It doesn't quite hit that edge. This one came up and over like that. This one comes like this. All right. Let's erase anything that I didn't follow the line exactly. How you guys been? Things have been rough around here. Not physically, but just like emotionally. We've had some staffing changes at work again. And so, suddenly schedule had to be changed and people are discombobulated. And that happens every time there's staffing changes. It's okay. But then there's also going to be staffing changes at my church. My current pastor has decided to, I don't know if he's retiring. He could be retiring. He didn't say the word retirement, but he's stepping down from our church. And so at the end of this month, he and his wife will be gone. And we will have to make some decisions on leadership. It is a long process in the church that I'm at. I'm at a Presbyterian church. And 10 years ago when we chose this pastor, we were at least 2 years might have been longer, without a permanent pastor. We had temporary pastors from the presbytery. They offer that as a thing that's part of our yearly kind of dues to the presbytery, is that they help you in these times of transition, and they provide pastors who are usually, not always, but usually retired pastors who just do a temporary part-time thing while you're searching for a new pastor. So that's going to be a change in our lives. And, it's not really my life in particular, like it's not me, it's the pastor, but it does change the dynamic of things. And then we're going to have to take a congregational survey and find out what kind of pastor we want. Do we want a Bible? Not that we don't want pastors to preach the Bible. Obviously, that's what we want. But there are differences between like our current pastor is a teaching pastor. I would call him a teaching pastor. He is very much professor-like in the meaning that he really wants to dig in to each and every word of the Bible and, parse every single sentence. And then there are the pastors who want to just do like a more broad overview of passages and stories in the Bible, and more get the overall meaning rather than individual sentence structure words. And that's a different style, and so our congregation as a whole, because what I want in a pastor may be completely different than what the person sitting next to me on the pew wants in a pastor. And the best, most fair way to decide on criteria of things that we're going to look for in the resumes of upcoming pastors is going to be based on what our congregation wants in a pastor. Do we want to continue to have a teaching pastor, or do we want one that's a little more broad? Not broad. Broad's not the right word. I don't want to make it sound like what my pastor has been doing is wrong. It's just a little not my particular personal style of preaching. We've been at this church about 30 years, and we've gone through several pastors, but as permanent pastors, I've had four. No, 3. As permanent pastors, I've had 3. The one that was there when we first got there, and then he retired, and then we got this absolutely phenomenal. She was Bible-based, obviously Bible-based, but her interpersonal skills between person to person were just next level. I've never met somebody like her before, and I haven't met anybody like her since. I don't know that she didn't just love every person that she ever met. I know that can't be true because nobody likes everybody, but if she didn't like you, you certainly wouldn't know it because she just loved on every single person. Didn't seem like there was a bone in her body that was negative. Even when she was facing the difficult days at the end of her life, she passed from cancer, and we only had her a short period of time, but she was beloved. And she had a style that was completely opposite from the pastor we have now, and that's okay. But I kind of miss having a pastor with that style. But that might not be what everybody else wants. Maybe everybody else really loves the way our current pastor has been teaching, and that's what they want in a pastor. And so we really need to know that. So we have to take a congregational survey. Hopefully everybody fills it out. That's what we had problems with the last time, is that we didn't get I don't think we got a really good representation, a good sampling of our congregation, because not everybody filled it out, and I think we really, really need to push that this time. Because it's kind of like voting. You can't say you don't like what you got if you didn't put your voice in, And some people were disappointed in the choice that we made as when we transitioned from our pastor who passed to this current one. And I think part of it has to do with the fact that that perhaps the nominating committee, and I was on that nominating committee, perhaps we didn't understand our congregation well enough, and we were going too much on our own personal opinions and feelings, and not really gauging our congregation well. Transition is hard. At my work, transition is hard. Even though the person who left is not somebody that we really... Everybody had problems with that person. It was a challenge and a struggle to work with that person. And yet, now that that person is gone, there's a new balance that has to take place, And I think it's going okay. It's going well. But it's also just a thing that you have to go through, and it just takes time. Ooh, I like that. I always like a neurographic thing. I want to make lines in here. Why? I don't know. I just feel like I want to make lines in here, so we're going to do that. So yeah, one of the things we're going to have to do at church is to have that survey. Another thing we're going to have to do is create a nominating committee. Since I was on the last one, I know what that's about. I was actually on the last two. It's a hard job being on nominating committee. I mean the pastor nominating committee. Because we don't, as a nominating committee, we don't hire the new pastor. What we do is we present a candidate to the congregation, and the congregation votes if they want that person as a pastor or not. So, if we don't have the pulse of the congregation correct in our analysis, they could just say no. We didn't like this person. But it's hard. It's just really hard. It's a big responsibility. And I think those of us who are still at the church, not all of us who were on the last pastor nominating committee are still at the church for one reason or another, whether they've moved, they've chosen another church, or they've passed on. We're not all still there, but I think we can take lessons that we learned last time and apply them to this time. Maybe do a few things differently. To make it a more efficient search. I have some ideas, but I have this feeling that if I want to say what my ideas are, I'm going to end up on the committee. And I said last time that was so hard that I didn't want to ever do it again. But I have this feeling, of course it has been 10 years, so, Did you guys really need to hear this whole conversation about my church? Probably not. But it's what's on my mind because it's fresh. I want some circles. Maybe in the comments below, tell me about your transition struggles. What do you struggle with when you have a transition in your life that is not something you've chosen? I haven't chosen to have staffing changes at work. I haven't chosen to have pastor change at church. Sometimes the transition is my choice. Sometimes I choose to go somewhere or not go somewhere to change a habit or a thing that I'm doing, and then that's my choice, and that transition I seem to be have an easier time with. But if I have transitions where it wasn't my choice, I really struggle. Even if the transition ends up being something that I really wanted. Like I said, the person at work was a difficult person to work with. And so having that person not there anymore is actually a blessing for most of us, but it's still, I don't know. It's still something we have to get used to. I think part of it is just because we haven't physically replaced that body yet. And so then everybody has to step up and do more work. And I think that's part of it, is that the change in dynamics of what you have to do during the day. Yeah. I like that. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just blabbering away. You guys are my therapist. Do I need a therapist? No, I just need to talk out loud to you guys. Put my stress out there. And sometimes you guys actually talk to me back in the comments, and that makes me feel better. So if you want to do that, I'd appreciate it. And of course, I'm drawing this so far ahead that when you comment on this video, I will say, what in the world was I talking about? I won't remember. Yeah, I won't. I won't remember what I was talking about. Where do I want more bubbles? Here. I like making the bubbles a variety of sizes. I think I need some over here. What am I going to call this one? Lines and Bubbles? Maybe I'll call this one Lines and Bubbles. I feel like I'm done. No, I feel like I want a little bit more right there, but not a lot. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And then some of them don't have anything. I really like how this turned out. This is fun. And I don't even think I'm going to do any shading to it. Maybe? Maybe with the lines. Let's try some lines shading. I'm just going to sign it. I don't know which direction it's going to go. I guess it's going to go that way because that's how I signed it. Pencil. You know white's coming. You know it, right? Here it comes. Here it comes. Need to sharpen my pencil. Yep, that's what it needed. It needed just a tiny bit of white. All right, I'm done. I yammered on a lot. Sorry about that, you guys. But that's what I thought about. So that's what I talked about. All right, you guys have a great day. I will see you on the next video on what would it be Sunday. On Sunday, I'll see you tomorrow. I forgot that I'm in October. This one's going to be called Lines and Bubbles. Lines and Bubbles. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Go out and do something nice for someone today. Make the world a better place, one person at a time. See you later. Bye-bye.